Continuing on with Module 8, now we're on Part 6, which starts on page 8-14. And I guess we expected this should happen. You can update a pivot table report just as you would update a spreadsheet, and it will update the chart that goes with it. We're not surprised, are we? Just have to figure out how. Here we are back on our pivot chart that we made. And remember, we started off with the Northeast table. This is a table that has everything in it. Okay. And there are numbers up here, and this is editable. All right. Then we made this pivot table report, and it is not editable as it is. Let me see if I tried to edit. It says we can't change this part of a pivot table. It's not editable because it's not a real thing. It's just a view of it. It's a way of looking at it. If you need to change this, which would also change the chart, then you'd have to go back to the original data and make the change there. So that's what they're going to have us do on the, well, first of all, here, they want you to see. Do you see, I'm doing them out of order, wait. On the pivot chart, how much is this value? If you hover your mouse, you can see a tooltip that it's $7,446.04. You can see that. I added a data label. So, I mean, either way, whatever. And just to confirm over here on our pivot chart, it's 7446.04, right? But now we want to change it, okay? They made a mistake in accounting. So we're going to, they told us, come over here to cell E27. And that's the number we need to change. It's currently $877. Doesn't look right, does it? So we're going to change the number to 6,000. And this one is editable because this is the original data. All right, now that we changed that, if we go back and look at the pivot table, oops, it didn't change. Oh, wait, I have to tell it to change. So let's go up to the Analyze tab, and somewhere around here in the Data section, it says Refresh. And now when we refreshed it, now I got the new number. And watch the chart now. Have quick eyes. Watch. So it changed as well. See, now it's 12,000. Yeah, there, 12,000. Okay. Now then, so remember, you can change the original data, but you can't physically change the pivot table or the pivot chart. It's the same thing if you know Access, if you do Access, if you want to change the data in a query or a form or a report. Well, you can do it in a query, I guess, but they're not generally made for that. And a form is just a view of the table. Anyway, the point is you have to change the table data, and then it will change everything downstream. So that's the point for you to learn here. But they did actually have, they wanted to tell you that if you wanted to have it automatically refresh each time you open the file, you can go up here to Analyze Filter, Analyze tab, and then find Data Group. And in the Data Group, there's a Refresh. And you can tell it refresh all. You could do that, but what we want to do is come up to the Analyze tab, and way over to the left on Options, we can choose to set some options. There are multiple tabs across the top. Do you see? Here, let me zoom in. You see the tabs? We want the Data tab. And in the Data tabs, the third option is to refresh data when opening the file, so that it would automatically refresh everything else, however many other everythings you have. Maybe you have 5 pivot tables with different things, and they're still all based on the one data sheet, you see, so it could refresh it, yeah, automatically. Anyway, that was free. And if you look over on the gold box on the next page, another thing you could do is you could add a calculated field on the pivot table or pivot chart report. So that's interesting. I'm going to show you, but we're not going to finish doing it. We'll pretend that the boss says, okay, build in a 20% increase for next year because we have inflation. So then what would the numbers be? What's the projection for the numbers? So we'll go to the Analyze tab, and under Calculations, there's one called Field Items, and so, okay, we can add a calculated field. And I just have my mouse in the table so it's activated. The computer will choose where to put it. Activated field, and we said we'll call it, well, what they did in the book was increase underscore revenue. You can put a space in there, but sometimes it's better with these 2-word field names to use the underscore. I see they didn't on position ID either, but good technique is probably to use the underscore. Anyway, and then the formula is going to be current revenue. So I'll choose, don't type, choose. If you can choose, always choose. Insert field times 1.2, so that we're going to project a 20% increase. And then you would add it and close. Click OK. I'm not going to, but I'm just showing you. So that's that. It increases some possibilities for bosses who are projecting for another year or something like that.